Okay, so another episode of Linux out of the box. And the distro we're looking at this time is Manjaro, which is an Arch-based distribution. So this is the machine. So it's 9060 XT, Ryzen 9, Minis 4 and BD795 ISE, 32 gigs of RAM and a 1 terabyte hard drive. So pretty standard modern computer, because the exercise here is just literally to take the ISO, download it, put it on a USB, install it on a machine, and just see how far you can get. So, because Linux is a brilliant operating system, but it's historically tricky. So I'm trying to look at this from a Windows Mac user point of view. I'm going to install it, and I want to be spoon-fed. So here's my Ventoy thing. We'll go down there. Manjaro, I'm going to do the KDE version. If you look on the website, there's some GNOME versions. There's different versions for this interface, but I've gone with KDE because it's the one that's sort of recognizable for Windows type people. So yeah, so hang on, I've changed my mind there. No, and I have done it. So here we go. So just boot this in, and we'll boot with open source drivers. Ignore me, I'm just tabbing around in there. That's what we're going to do. And then off it will go. He says, there we go, we're off. So yeah, so, I mean, yeah, as I said, the idea of these videos is to literally just take Linux as it comes, install it on a machine, and sort of, Christ, here we go, we're in, that was quick. Okay, launcher, let's start the installation process before I start speaking. Okay, Manjaro 25, American English, is there the other English? Nope. Okay, back, time zone London, UK, I'm going to erase the disk, yep, it's on my shield. But this is just a really standard and pretty easy actually thing, and then name your computer, okay, you're just going to do automatic login, and you see, it's much better saying administrator password than root. What's that? LibreOffice and FreeOffice. What's FreeOffice? I've never seen that before. Anyway, I put LibreOffice on there because I'm used to that on the other installations, but I'm going to investigate FreeOffice in my own time and install. Yeah, but so there's a very clever thing they've done there. They don't call the master user root, which is prevalent on lots of Linux systems. It's more accessible because they've actually created an admin user. That's great. So yeah, so the idea here is to literally do these installations as you would like you got a copy of Windows, and you'd go through and set it up. And then what I'll try and do, I'm going to just open up a word processor, check I can do it, check I've got an email thing, install Steam, play a game, put OBS on there, do some video capture, and just do the basic things that you could do. And then I'm also going to do a DaVinci Resolve install. Now, DaVinci Resolve is a pig to do an installation on any Linux platform, apart from Bazzite, which is very, very simple. So I've written, there's a script I've got that does a universal installation, and that'll just install it. But I can tell you from the get-go, because this is an AMD processor, it won't detect the graphics card because I've got to do extra stuff with OpenCL to get it to work. Now, that's a whole other project I've got to do, because, I mean, there'll be a lot of people out there with AMD cards who can't use Resolve because, yeah, it's an AMD card and the drivers aren't installed by default and all this. But if you're NVIDIA, you're good to go. Everything goes in with the NVIDIA drivers and allows it to work straight off the bat. Anyway, here we go. It's uploading and everything's going in there. 93%, quite quick. The beauty of this, I mean, the operating systems are quite small footprint, aren't they? 2 or 3 gigs, some of them. I think Bazzite and some of the ones like that are a bit bigger. But yeah, it's pretty small, nice and slick. And we'll just shut this down, restart. Now that's like a pretty slick install. Really clear. I'm impressed with that. That's a good installation process. Really clear step by step. Now remember, I'm coming at this from Windows Mac. If you're a Linux guy, you'll just go, you know, if you do normal Arch, you like in tech stuff, but we're trying to stay out of console with this. We're just trying to do it like you want to switch or try out Linux. A bit of a long reboot. What's going on? Oh, we're back. And retail, register trademark. Nice. Okay, it's coming back up. That's what we want. Okay, so I'm ready to go. I'm installed. That's great. Okay. And I've got package managers fired up straight away. I've got some updates to do. So let's attend to those updates. Okay, let's do that. And where does it say updates? At the top there. Okay, cool. And ignore all, don't know what they are, but let's do them. Type in the password and let's do an update. Okay, update Arch Linux keyring, checking available disk space, all the standard stuff. The thing about this is, I know this is a hateful thing to say, it's too verbose. It tells you too much information. If this is Windows, it would just say updating. If it's Mac, just saying updating, it doesn't tell you what it's doing. I think that there's going to be middle ground here with Linux and just do a restart. And like Mac OS and all these sort of things, where you don't need to see them. I mean, the administrator thing is the first time I'm going to check all the other installations I do. I've not seen anybody else call it administrator. Everybody else keeps it as root, which is confusing if you come from Windows or you've even come from Mac. So here we go. We're going to reboot in again. Okay, come on, you can do it. Manjaro. Okay, let's just come up. And then we've got, our launch screen. So what else have we got? Let's give it a that. Let's have a look around. What do we got? We've got Office. There we are. LibreOffice installed. Up we go. So there's word processing sorted out. Great. From the get-go. What else is going on in here then? Okay. Internet. We've got Firefox. Graphics. We've got some other bits. Education, development. Development stuff, not really bothered about. Probably don't have a mail client installed, but I'm sure we can find that. So this is great because you've got like an add and remove software thing. So a little software shop. And so let's have a look in here. What do we got? Let's go for, what are we going to look for? First of all, Steam. Nice. There it is. Now there's two. There's a native version and official repositories, multi-lib, and they look the same, but one's a later version. So I'm probably going to take that top one. Yeah, Steam native. I should Google, find out what the difference is. So here we go, pending operation. Apply. Password. Yeah, nothing unusual about this. What's that? Steam native runtime support. What should I choose? Let's choose that top one. I think you should choose both, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, okay, lots of extra things to add. That's great. Let it do its thing. In it goes. But yeah, okay. I mean, there's a bit too much information there, but deal with it. It's not information overload. And installing lib fonts, etc. Post and a restart is required. Okay, let's do that again. Yeah, this is one of the things you get used to with Linux is rebooting. But mind you, this is really quick. This is a quick reboot, he says. We get a black screen for like an hour. But here we go. It's pretty quick. Obviously, it depends on your age of your machine. And I'm on like an SSD, aren't I? That's super quick. So up it comes again. And I've obviously taken off the login, so I'll just go straight in. So it should just go straight to desktop. Okay, we're straight to desktop. So now, let me get that little pop. You switch that off in the corner. And what else we need to add? We need OBS. Do I need OBS? OBS. Okay, let's put that on there. Okay, and pop that in there. And I don't know what that means. What have we got? Virtual camera. Don't know what those mean. So it could be a little bit more descriptive. Shall I just select all? I'll do that. Yeah. One of the things, I mean, some of the installation processes on these sort of lacking. But I mean, this isn't too bad. This is not too bad at all. Okay. Let's get that on there. Quite a small program, really. Mind you, my internet's, what, 250, 300 megs, so it's not too bad download. In it goes. Checking integrity. Is it asking for a reboot? Not sure. It's waiting. Come on, you can do it. Running post-transaction hooks. Don't know what that means and probably don't need to. You could just say installing. Okay, and it's not asking me to reboot, which is nice. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so what should we add on now? I think... Here we go, yeah. So I plugged in my USB because I'm going to copy over DaVinci Resolve and the installer script that I put together and a bit of video, because if it does work, I put ProRes because it doesn't rely on the encoders. It's got, because I'm going to install the free version, copy here, and then you need to, for my script, you need to put the DaVinci Resolve installer. Hang on, see if I can do that. the run file or in downloads with the DaVinci Resolve zip file. So I just copy that over. Okie dokie, keep going. Done. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so we're gonna try my Resolve installation quickly. So basically, you type cxmod+h to give it run executable, so it can be executed, and then do that, then drag it back in and run it. And what this does, DaVinci Resolve needs loads of dependencies and all sorts of weird stuff. So this will basically detect your OS, there you go, and distribution arch, and now it'll check the packages are already installed. And then it will try and install Resolve for you. Then I think what I'm going to do is reboot it. It may error at the end of this. You need to reboot it and come back and see if we can run it, because it may bin out the first time we run it. But it won't work properly because I haven't got OpenCL drivers installed. If you can get OpenCL drivers, it would work. If this was an NVIDIA card on here with the proper NVIDIA drivers, it would work. So yeah. So the OpenCL part is a project for another day. This is all going quite well. Install dependencies. It does take a little bit of time, this. Yeah, but it's quite slick. Okay, this is not too bad. Let's have a look around. Let's change the wallpaper. So we've got a nice wallpaper in here. We're going to have that one. They've got some nice wallpapers. What's that one? Honeyware? No, I don't know. Let's have another look. What's that? Milky Way. That's more my kind of thing. Let's do Milky Way. Mouse actions. What's in here? Locations. Icons. I mean, you've got all the controls you're used to. And KDE is a great, Plasma's a great sort of overlay interface for Linux. And have a look around. Anything else we can look at? Yeah, I've done that one. Games, Steam's in there. Utilities. Emoji selector. Need that. That's a biggie. Yeah, need that. Anything else? Token software. Screen capture. What's that then? There's a calculator. Arc. Work with archive files. System. What else we got there? Don't know what that is. Keep going. Info Central. Info Central. Here we go. What have we got? This tells me all about the machine. So Manjaro Linux. Friday came with 16. And then, yeah, system on is quite clever. You can have this is like it's a task manager in a way. Energy. CPU tells me what it is. All the instruction sets. Oh, that's sort of malarkey. What else have we got in there? Firmware security. Interesting. There'll probably be something in there that I shouldn't be sharing, but I don't know what it means. Some RAM, USB devices, OpenCL Windows Manager, Xserve at the bottom there. So here we go. So the Resolve started to install. So it's going to inflate the zip file. Jesus, that was quick. So next, agree to license terms. Next, show the log. So we've got something to look at. Off it goes. Whoa, it's pretty quick. Off it goes. Yeah, so I mean, what the script does, it looks for these dependencies and installs them locally. And then there's some stuff where it creates symlinks because Resolve gets a bit confused. But Resolve does work on any Linux distribution. I've not tried SUSE or what else is there? Slackware? Jesus. So look, it'll try and set up the OpenCL, but it can't on this. I think it's to do with the cards doing it, and it's going to miss a few things out. Compatibility issue. Run diagnostics. Do I need to do that? Cannot create wrapper. Would create for any desktop entry successfully created. Found it. Yeah. Because each one of them sort of each installation puts it in different places. Here we go. Attempting a debug. So it'll run it and see, continue, skip. Nah, it's not playing, is it? So we need to reboot for that. Give it a reboot, I think, and then come back and rerun it. It's empty. Attempt to run Resolve, debug. Yeah, so this is really for me. I mean, most on the unit on Unterbund and stuff like that, you just quit it. On Unterbund and stuff like that, this works seamlessly. I mean, but the big deal is, and the big thing that's holding it back is AMD. So let's reboot this. and then we can try Steam, OBS, and I'll try my DaVinci Resolve at the end. Here we go. Another loop, another boot loop. Come on. Oh, I hate that black screen. Was it going to come back up? Yeah, it's going into it, isn't it? Manjaro. Here we go. Okay, so let's go with, what are we going to try first? Let's try OBS. So it's going to do an optimization thing for recording. Now, obviously this is AMD, so there's a problem. It has got hardware encoders built into the AMD cards, but it just doesn't access them off the bat. There's some configurations and stuff you have to do to get access to hardware encoding. With NVIDIA, you can go straight in and do it fine. I mean, this card's so new. Here we go. Let's have a look what encoders it's got automatically off the bat. So we've got software. That's it. Let's go to advanced. FFmpeg VAPI H.264. I mean, this card does have hardware for H.265 and AV1. So we're missing out on that. Let's just set that up quickly. Screen. There we are. Open. Hope I'm doing this with Blackmagic deck recorder. Oh, nothing there. Pipewire doesn't work. Let's try another one. Let's get rid of that. That's the other. There's another screen capture method. There we are. XSHM up there. Let's try that one. Okay, not normally how to do it. Normally do it with Pipewire. Okay, but that's done it. That's there. Okay, that's great. So let's try a bit of Steam. Let's try the native application. There we go. Now this, if you've watched my other videos, can be a bit sporadic. It's doing it straight away. It sort of goes off in the background, does something, then leaps back into life. And I think it's this bit. I think it doesn't show this bit, but it's doing it in the background. So once this, imagine you're not seeing this. I can't remember what the other installations. I think I just did it on Pop. It does this. It's in the background. Pop didn't even work. It just gave me a black screen. So you don't see this, and you wonder why hasn't Steam launched? And then you saw this is probably going on in the background, but you just don't see this window. So that's probably what it is. That's actually solved a mystery to me. So I just probably need to just be patient because you're not seeing this update window. Okay, that's done. Extracting package. And what we're going to do, we can just quickly, obviously, Steam OS, the Steam OS one's on Linux, and look at this really quick. They built in this compatibility layer called Proton, if you've not heard of it, which allows you to play most 90% of Windows games. Blimey, this is a lot quicker than I think Pop OS. So yeah, I'll just need to scrabble for my phone and log in. I think I did it wrong on this one. But yeah, so you've got Proton, which is a compatibility layer, so you can run Windows games on Linux, and you don't get too much of a frame issue. It's like 10 frames slower. It's brilliant, and it's, it means that you can now switch over and play your games. I mean, Valve really knew what they were doing with this. So what we're going to install, QuakeCon sales, we're going to do Dredge. It's quite a small download, and then we'll just fire that up. Now, when I did this on, I think on Pop, it just black screened on me. So yeah, but I think Manjaro is like what's called a rolling release, so it's quite up to date. There's like two or three different types of distributions Linux does. It's like locked ones that does patches, but doesn't advance the technology. And then you get rolling releases, which do advance the technology and allow your systems up to date. They do allow like new drivers, new kernels, new stuff like that. So that's much more akin to macOS or Windows, actually, and the driver updates. So what am I doing back in here? I'm having another look around. Spectacle, system, console. Don't really want to go in that often. Yeah, I mean, the DaVinci Resolve thing, time shift is really useful. That's an inbuilt backup system, and you can snapshot your machine. Have another look at the settings. Whilst we're waiting, anything we missed. Devices, digital cameras. Very comprehensive, this one. Quite shocked, actually, how good this is. I'm not in a bad way, but it's like, this is really well put together. Really well put together. And Linux Arch is super quick. Okay, so yeah, so that's your starter programs. Okay, cool. Power management, kernel 6.12, that's quite recent. And you can see I've got a 610M integrated card, and I've got the 9060. What else have we got in there? Power management, done that. Game controller even. Bluetooth. Display. I've already got it, yeah, 1920 by 1080 compositor. So there's tons of controls in here. I mean, obviously if you're Windows or Mac, half of this makes no sense to you and you're just looking for like, how do I move my toolbar around? Things like that. What else we got? I don't know what that Elisa thing is. I need to, that's a recorder of some kind. Education, done that one. Development, don't know what that one is. Kate, it's a text editor. It's nice to have. And then, yeah, you go, Dredge. Great indie game. I just do it because it's really quick and you can see it. Like, I mean, it's not going to make you sit here for hours and do a download, but it's just, this is literally as real time as you can get this. So what it's done there, it's downloaded some Proton layers and some extra bits. Let's launch Dredge. This didn't work. Out of date. Yeah, look, Pop OS. Because basically just black screened on Pop. And let's see what happens. Will it launch? Will I black screen? Oh no, I've got it. Brilliant. Okay, that's really cool. So straight in. No issues whatsoever. I mean, it's not a very complicated game or demanding game, but it's the premise, isn't it? Can I just install a game and launch it? Continue, let's have a look. Here we go. Undock. Off I go. In my little boat. Great game, this. It's just, I think the development team's like 4 people, 5 people. And it's really playable. It's really interesting. It's great fun. Good narrative. And the graphics are beautiful. So, I mean, it's just a really good little bit of software. Well done, the guys that made that. And you play it on Linux now as well. So, quit. Okay, and I think we're going to run my DaVinci Resolve last time. Now, this should run and fail because of the graphics card. Okay, skip and start. Yeah, it's trying it. It'll hit the graphics part and say, I haven't got a graphics card. So you can go in, click on that, and there you go, into media, memory and GPU options, nothing showing. So if I got the ROCm or OpenCL bit running, I'm probably sure I could get this working. But I mean, again, that's another mission. I'm trying to bring DaVinci Resolve to all Linux installations. I don't know why. I mean, I think if you can get the free version of Resolve and a free operating system, then as a content creator, good to go, because OBS is free. And you don't have to pay for your games, which is the right way of things. You pay for your games, but all the rest of it, yeah, not so much. Okay, that's Manjaro. That's actually really cool. So, yeah, so I'll leave you with that. I'm really impressed with that. That's really simple and a good experience. So, yeah, so we'll move on to some other distros, and thanks for watching.